very meticulous play, because even before that left side, when they were sieging the Phoenix, it was Wolves diving onto the Freya, being able to force that Valkyrie's discretion. So when they did transition to the right side, they had to use the defensive relics, didn't have that ultimate available. The Layers ultimate even trying to force out those relics. So it was just so much pressure onto Aquatic.
Well, picks and bans here for game number 2. You said that Elevate does have to sort of adapt and adjust. What would you like to see here besides the Freya mentions?
I think that if you're going to go for Freya, you got to stick it in the side lane and make sure that you kind of gank that dual lane over and over again. In the mid lane, it's a hit or miss. Simply because if you're not going to use it for kill potential, then I don't think there's really any point. The only time that they found a kill onto Boronic was when he overstepped to try to kill the Freya. So I guess you could kind of use it as a baiting tactic, but in a more mannerable fashion, you can shut down the Rama and help the Freya get ahead to actually make these Gold Furies more meaningful.
I was agreeing with you, and then I just started doing the robot.
The robot? And you dropped your pen.
I did drop my pen.
I see your spaghetti falling out of your pocket as well.
Oh my goodness, I just, you dropped your pocket. 4 bans so far. Astral going to take care of Chernivog and Robin, and then Elevate going to look for the Freya and the Zeus. So Freya can't be the #1 pick here for Elevate as they choose the secondary selection. They're going to ban it out, leaving Astral with the Baron Samedi, character we didn't see last game.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be in the solo lane for Wolves or in the support role out of Bobby. I think that could easily go to Bobby yet again. If he's playing the Nox the last game, another mage in game number 2 to end it with a spicy pick.
Yeah, Wolves. I'm not going to say that Baron isn't a Wolves type pick, because I think that we've come to just understand that Wolves will play literally anything. But Wolves tends to be more aggressive. When he's playing the Guardians, he's playing Ymir, baby.
True.
So I think the Baron will wind up in the hands of Inbound, but we'll keep an eye on it. Odin and Ram across the way for Elevate, and Athena will be selected, which still doesn't tell me.
Doesn't tell me much.
It doesn't tell me much. So we'll reserve our placement for now.
I like how you put it for Wolves can play anything. Now, we don't really see him playing mages too often between Chongas, Aphrodites, Hel, Raz, whatever. But I think it's definitely still in his wheelhouse. Being able to play Assassins from time to time, playing the Loki makes him very unpredictable. I like the Odin pick for Elevate, really realizing that the Baron Samedi is not going to be able to get out of that. Maybe force an early Phantom.
Odin is also still, I mean, I had the conversation before in game number 1 where Wolves is no longer this mythical figure. He one point was this just, I mean, faker level of you can't touch him. Now he's a little bit more closer to Earth. But still, ain't nobody want to give him Odin. So if you can't ban the Odin, you have to go ahead and select it. Boronic has been threatening people with the Zeus as well. So that's kind of a problematic situation to be on the other side of Astral.
Elevate not wanting to get pentakilled yet again, taking away the Rajan from Boronic's hands. Could even be a Jing Wei in the mid lane if they want to do a double hunter strategy. We've seen it before in the past.
Could be, certainly could be. Astral banning away the Habwa as well. DoctorL does have a really strong Hebo jungle, as do most people. I think Hebo jungle is just pretty damn strong in his own right. Discordia, the mid lane selection here for Elevate. For Astral, they've got a couple of gods and a couple of spots. They do need a mid laner, though, perhaps. I don't think Boronic will be playing the Baron Samedi. The Hun Batsinator is the jungler here for Astral. We're going to see Layers bring out the Party Monkey. And with the Morrigan locked in, that's going to be Boronic on the Morrigan most likely. And then Baron and Athena, we'll see.
I like this. Double Fear No Evil. Oof.
Double fear No Evil. Everybody always talks about the Circuit. I think double Hunbats is scarier.
It is scarier. I think I agree with you. Because of the Venn diagram you can create in any team fight. Forcing beads on one and then capitalizing it on the second one. Whenever Odin jumps in, a Fear No Evil dissects the team fight completely into 2. So now you have to worry about 2 different sets of cooldowns. Yikes.
Going to be a little bit rough. Who takes the victory? Is it Astral here and we go home? Well, get ready for PlayStation, or is it Elevate and we go play a 3rd game? That's the question we'll ask you guys out there in chat. For my money, I'm looking at what Astral have. I think there's a ton of control. You've got 2 Fear No Evils, 2 Life of the Parties, maybe even with Baron on the team. And then even across the way, you have access to Terra, you have access to Odin, 2 very, very powerful characters. Let's get right into game here as we prepare for game number 2.
It's all about the lockdown. I think Elevate drafted a composition that relies on locking down Wolves, Boronic, Inbound, and forcing ultimates from Gryphon between the Odin Cage, between the Roots from Hamster. And even the Discordia Strife, if you can manage to root multiple members, it allows Aquatic more of a timing window to confirm the madness effect from that second ability.
What I do like out of Elevate's draft is not everybody is a great target for the Morrigan. I mean, I don't remember the last time somebody decided to turn into Rom, right? Like, Rom, great character. I'm really not that thrilled about turning into him there. Susano brings a lot of control, but still I'm looking more at Nexamiss and AquaticApe, or rather, IAmTheHamster. Even AquaticApe, right, on the Discordia.
Yeah.
I will turn into a Discordia. She's on the higher end of characters I'll turn into, but she's not, like, it's not fear no evil. I think Elevate did a good job of, whenever I see the Morrigan picked, I think about the mitigation during the picks and bans, and I think Elevate did a decent job of dealing with that.
Well, honestly, if I'm a Boronic, I would probably choose Aquatic more than anyone, simply because off of the Athena taunt, that Strife is going to be just so much more powerful. And because you're maxing out the Dark Omen anyway, your Strife is going to be a higher level, so it's not a bad idea.
But you're doing that as the Morrigan anyway. Why not Athena taunt into the Morrigan damage and then transfer into somebody better?
You might not have a timing window to get the Morrigan damage off, then transform during the duration of one taunt. Whereas if you Strife during an Athena taunt, now you're applying the Madness effect afterwards, slightly overextending the range of the CC.
Oh, basically what I'm saying is the Morrigan, I think this is an overlooked part. Everybody just talks about the ultimate. I mean, the Morrigan brings a ton of damage in
absolutely.
Her own right.
I
so
agree with
an Athena taunt, I don't need to transform. I can just blow you up with my nonsense.
Very true, very true. But I still like the golden apple afterwards, after the taunt, so you have enough timing for the Strife and the apple. You don't have to all-in commit, but if there ever is an opportunity to do so, I think Discordia might be the #1 go-to.
I'll tell you, she's definitely more attractive if DoctorL starts running the game because of the cripple that the Golden Apple provides, right? Otherwise, Terra is going to be a very interesting look. I see Zeros from PC's Team Dignitas go into Terra almost all of the time. That ultimate is so powerful, and it amplifies your entire team fight. So certainly something to look at. Plus, of course, the root there as well. Left side being a little bit aggressive here. Gryphon Slays jumping into the opposition.
Forcing out the shell out of Elevate. Going to be on cooldown for another 140 seconds. Astral Authority don't really have anything to invade on the left. All the reds and purples have been confirmed, but if they keep being aggressive like this, they have time to start transitioning over to the left side mid-harpies into the Oracles for vision.
Gryphon Slays down to about half HP. The Terra certainly bringing the noise.
Dot damage after you crash into that monolith, and by having the aggro from the Terra, now your own archers are hitting the Terra, which delays your clear by proxy.
Inbound, going to be on that Athena, so that's where our Guardian went. Baron summoning in the hands of Wolves over there on the short side. And he's been having a decent time right now, getting invaded, but DoctorL shows up, and now Layers of Death. Gonna be here. Bead's gonna be used to get rid of the root. Is it good enough?
Oh, can Layers hit it? He doesn't have Blink, but the speed buffs from both are available. One more shot can do it.
He also has rank 2 boots, so Layers gonna be a little bit faster, but he misses the monkey toss. Oof. Oh, Layers. I will say a rare misplay there.
Very rare. Maybe he anticipated the juke that never actually happened. Now, the monkey toss wouldn't have killed him, but the teleport into the basic attack certainly would have.
That was certain death. Certain first blood. Layers of Death with a rare miss right there. Inbound could be the first blood here if Mr. White has his say.
Mr. White rolling in. He could get turned on, but the minion advantage going in Elevate's favor. 3 archers, a little too difficult. Look where Boronic is into the Odin, but he's out of range. For Mr. White, gonna settle for Hamster instead.
Yeah, Hamster's in trouble here. Mr. White on the left, Elevate DoctorL on the right-hand side. Gryphon already takes down IAmTheHamster. But now mid lane and jungler are present. DoctorL pulls in 2. Strife's gonna select 1. AquaticApe is able to go ahead and put him down. First blood goes to Astral. Elevate do answer back, but a little bit late.
Support for support. First blood credited, however, to the Jingwei. Gryphon going to be able to try to finish off those Devo Glove stacks a little bit faster. And as a Jingwei, that's what it's all about. Really min-maxing the farming capabilities, trying to get the highest GPM.
Right now, DoctorL That was an important play right there. Grabbing the two separate players with the wind siphon. One of the most obnoxious things about playing against the Susano is you sit there and you go, why does this character have so much damage? Why is this character so fast? Why does this character have so much control? But for some reason, he's not first pick all the time. 3-1 right now.
Wolves is saying, why are there 3 people in my lane? Get them out of here. But not making the rotation was Layers. As a solo laner, when your primary blue buff gets invaded, you got to expect round 2 invade. And without DoctorL having the purification beats, because Layers really locking him down after the slow, level 5 Hun Bats, that's a guaranteed kill onto this level 4 Susanoo.
Yeah, just looking elsewhere here, and sort of the conversation that I started without realizing that the invade was going on was, I mean, what keeps Susano in check? Because he seems to have it all.
It's about the cripple. Anytime you can keep him in place and make sure he can't jet stream away or teleport to his jet stream, rather, you're doing a good job. And it's going to be up to a couple of key CC factors to allow that to happen. Maybe Oboronic can transform into Discordia, apply that form of CC, maybe forcing out a lot of beats, and knowing Layers, he's definitely going to drop that ultimate any opportunity onto DoctorL.
Oboronic really flexing his stuff with the early Odin gank to the left side. I really thought that was kind of cute and creative. I'm interested to see how Oboronic does on this character, because Oboronic, I haven't seen that much the Morrigan from him, frankly. I have seen it before, but not in bulk, if you will. And Oboronic is a guy that I won't say his god pool is small. It used to be. But Oboronic plays characters like a fighting game player almost, where he mains a god until they're in his god pool. You know the Zeus, you know the Hebo, you know the Thoth, right?
Oh, look at this. Great patience from Layers, and getting pulled back in his Nexamiss.
Nice play.
That's why it's so risky to jump in as an Odin. When you're level 7 or higher, just stand still with your shield. Just always anticipate that sort of gank, especially when you don't have vision around that blue buff.
Yeah, you're just going to be in trouble. And like you said, that the Odin jump is like the Agni dash, but even worse sometimes, depending on the point in the game where an alarm goes off and lets everybody know Odin's jump.
Earth and Fury. Golden Apple connects onto Oboronic, but he actually transforms away, so he's not even going to take that explosion damage.
That's a big deal of what the Morgan does as well. Anytime there are abilities that have multiple hits, Oboronic, don't be dumb! Oh, he almost paid for the taunt right there.
The little stutter step from the D-transformation set up the strife.
So the Morrigan will actually shed debuffs on her when she transforms. So you get hit by the golden apple, you transform, there's no more golden apple. And that's particularly problematic for the Morrigan, or excuse me, for Discordia, because you're only doing 1/3 of your damage up front. The other 2/3 ability damage from golden apple is done with a secondary deployment. So Oboronic right there just transforming into whoever, VELing, and walking away.
It can also hurt Discordia at times. If you're a Discordia with red buff and you transform into somebody, well, that red buff doesn't transfer over.
Right.
Same thing goes if you pick up a red buff upon your transformation. Once you go back into the regular Morrigan, that's going to fizzle away. So the timing certainly matters. And transforming into the Odin is probably the best defensive capability, simply because you're going to have the shield. But when you're looking at Hamster with a Terra, another Earth and Fury for Astral Authority could keep Oboronic alive and even swing certain team fights.
Yes, like I said, Zero's one of my favorite The Morgan players. Definitely advocates her going into that Terra when available. It's a really, really big boon on the team fight, specifically in the late game. In the early game, I agree. I think the Odin's probably the better choice. But once you get a couple of points in that ultimate, then that you're really doing a lot with Earth and Fury for sure.
Oboronic's build currently going for that tier 2 Bumbus mask. Very cost effective, but actually finishing it off immediately, surprisingly. A lot of players will actually elect to keep it at tier 2, getting a lot of the cheapo stats, you know, 10 power, getting about 10% cooldown reduction for all about 1,200 gold. Makes it so much more enticing to keep.
That movement speed ain't no joke. You are very, very fast. Nexamiss going to be pushed in here, and there's Layers, and there's Inbowned. A little bit of overkill, I think.
Yes, definitely overkill. I don't think the Athena ultimate was quite necessary. Go Fury could have been open for Elevate, but considering it's only level 9 Mr. White, he's still working on those Devo Glav stacks, makes it harder to do cleanly.
Yeah, that comes to mind. I mean, the first solo laner, you know, Brandon's famous for doing this, but I think every solo laner, when you're playing ranked, like, 3 people in my lane, do the Gold Fury! Do the Gold Fury! What are you doing? Athena ult! Do the Gold Fury! I know that's how I get. That's how I get.
You can say a lot of solo laners do that, yeah.
Totally.
Not all.
Totally has this face on like, I would never. Oboronic right now going for the Hun Bats. Party Monkey able to get Aquatic Ape off of him. And that's the second time we've seen the Morgan get away from the big golden apple. And I think that's something that players are going to have to... I mean, Aquatic Ape is going to have to get used to that.
It's very true.
I would go so far to say that I don't really think you should be ulting Oboronic.
Only when you know his ultimate's not available.
Right. Deep covers. Well, I guess it's really not all that deep. Interesting to get your thoughts, though. Is it worth trading the Golden Apple for the Morgan transformation?
I'd say so.
Because I would say yes.
Yes. Morgan ultimate, a lot longer cooldown, actually. You have to start leveling it to reduce that cooldown, and that's going to favor Aquatic every time. At rank 1, it's 160 seconds. Only upon the max rank do you actually get benefit to outpace Aquatic Ape. So a lot of these players actually not going for Chronos Pendant in the long term. So it's going to allow a little bit early to mid game for Aquatic's favor.
I like what Aquatic Ape has done here, and I'm assuming that he normally levels the ult. I think most Discordia players will normally choose to level the ult. Nexamiss understands how that one's going to go. Gryphon slays here in trouble. Has the Athena ult, but it's not enough.
A little too late on the Athena ultimate. Around the corner was the Morgan, but Oboronic not interested, knowing that Aquatic Ape is soon to follow.
And so with Aquatic Ape here, like I said, I think most Discordians will choose to level the ultimate. He realizes how ineffective he's been against Oboronic, so he's not going for it. He's just leveling his other abilities, and I think that's a really smart adaptation.
As long as you can have this setup, you're going to get more opportunities to land those strifes and more opportunities to kill maybe another dual lane member. Inbound, very low, forced to retreat.
DoctorL here in trouble, going to toss out something with the help of the monkey. Oboronic jumps right, and he hits him! Oh, the absolute trade out! DoctorL and Oboronic, 1 for 1. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
He would have killed the Susanoo a little faster, but the overhand smash got canceled by the Typhoon knockup. These small little nuanced plays, so tricky to always calculate, but Oboronic jumping up and down, a good use to avoid some of that damage from DoctorL. Out of a mid laner specifically, transforming into an assassin, you're always tested when you're playing the Morgan, and so far I'd say Oboronic has passed this test.
That's where I was going to go with my next comment as well, Toli. Oboronic here, he ganked, he made the first gank on an Odin to the left lane, right? And then we've seen him transform into a number of things. The Fear No Evil came out when he needed the Fear No Evil. Oboronic is definitely tested and tried and true on this character. Like I said, Boronic's God Pool, he approaches it, in my eyes, like a fighting game character where he goes so deep with his choices, where every one of his picks is really, really scary. He doesn't have 30 gods he can play at a level 7. He has 10 gods he can play at a level 10. And I'm kind of being funny with my numbers, but when Oboronic pulls out a character, it really feels like he's really feels comfortable.
Oh, Layers forced to run away. Good patience from Inbound, not using the ultimate, knowing that his Hunbat's jungler would escape. The blink, however, will seal the deal.
Nexamiss here, now behind enemy lines. Not going to be punished at all. Nice job there from the Elevate solo laner. Goes back in, finds a slow. Damage a little bit onto Wolves, but not too much. Elevate now looking for the red buff invade. And I like this call.
Ooh, not able to hit the wind siphon. Stormkata hits onto 2. There goes the knockup. Oboronic with yet again another Fear No Evil. No beads for DoctorL.
Fear No Evil is out of control right now. DoctorL falls down to the hand of the Hunter. Meanwhile, Inbound going to be jumped on by Nexamiss. Able to stay alive for now, but the shots from Mr. White. And Inbound is won. Gryphon slays will Aegis and survive one more time.
Mr. White was about to get a double kill up until the Aegis at the very last second. Oboronic trying to find the follow-up, but he's just outside the cage, doesn't have the range.
Yeah, Nexamiss drops the cage and able to save himself from the mid laner. I think that would have been a death as well. Oboronic doing some good damage here as he builds into his Book of Thoth, you reckon?
Book of Thoth for Boronic would be a little bit too late.
That's what I'm thinking.
But Polynomicon is actually not a bad item whatsoever for Morgan players.
Morgan is a lot about not only the Changeling, but she's also very heavily about the burst damage.
Yeah, you're able to weave those basic attacks in and out, especially trying to get that third basic attack for the passive percent damage off of the opponent's health pool. Nothing to scoff at. That's why she wins a lot of laning phases, just because of her passive, honestly.
Also, the fact that at a certain point, you can just delete players.
Yeah.
That gets really scary.
And objectives. Between Gold Furies and Towers at Polynomicon, not a bad pickup.
Yeah, the Polynomicon hi-rez doesn't work like that. That would be miserable if physical dealers also had a
little bit. A 1v1 that becomes a 1v2. Gryphon gonna use his beats to avoid this stuff, but he still wants to take this fight.
Meanwhile, Layers is here with the monkey. Gonna hit Mr. White. Aegis over, life over. Mr. White sits down. Gryphon slays in trouble. And DoctorL will return the favor, 1 for 1 so far. Both hunters down for the count. Inbound on the run, decides not to go for DoctorL. Will taunt up Hamster Man.
I think he already used a dash to get closer to the left-hand side. I'm surprised Inbound didn't use his ultimate, but he will now. Boronic with the last hit anyway.
Boronic just doing whatever the hell he wants. The Morgan can be so frightening. Really, really can be frightening. Boronic on the top side, 2-on-2. What you into? DoctorL dashes away. But Boronic, he's just on a tear.
He is. Even though he didn't find the kill with the Dark Omen, still going to force the back from DoctorL, forcing even the Purification beats. This opens the window for Layers. Next Fear No Evil for the next time Boronic has the Changeling to transform into Layers, which I think is going to be a consistent thing from now on. This double Fear No Evil, so fruitful for Astral the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, the Fear No Evil has been really on point, and I expect to see the majority Fear No Evil. Occasionally a ring, and occasionally a Terra Ultimate. But I think Boronic is going to have that Fear No Evil on the quick trigger for sure. Mr. White here, trying to deal with the dual lane. Talking to catch up. Oh, that's it. Mr. White in trouble. Basics are coming out, but he's hiding in the minion wave really well. And with a little bit of help from his friends, 1, 2, 3 players in the wings. Gryphon slays, knocked up, knocked down, can't even get the ultimate off.
Wow.
And Hamster Man puts him in the cage. Bobby taunts to his own demise.
Oh, but here comes the comeback. Layers actually transforms into the minion, or teleports rather. Mr. White surviving and thriving. Apple hits from a distance. Boronic is doing.
Boronic, that was a toss right there. Love the accuracy of the mid lane mage. Out of control. P.S.
Wolves with a solo kill onto Nexamiss. No assistance from anyone.
Just
it's going to open up a tier 1 tower now.
Wolves, this is what I talk about. Remember we were watching a different game, and I was talking about the tower being used as a way to keep the solo laner in check. If you leave, I'm taking your right? Yep. So Wolves does the same thing here, and you see this a lot, honestly, with Astral, where Wolves will just handle himself. And he will just take the one-on-one, he will win the fight, and all while whatever's going on the other side of the map, Wolves is just
another solo kill for Wolves, even
doing
using the Phantom for some damage mitigation.
Yep.
Oh,
just doing that. Just doing that. I mean, that's Wolves. Wolves can just single-handedly win when he wants to.
Aquatic Ape between a rock and a hard place, using the cloud for as long as he can. Boronic finds the first kill in this little skirmish. Boronic not done yet, transforms into the Odin, locking in Hamster for the moment, but it's not for the kill. It's to zone away, elevate, while Astral confirmed the Gold Fury.
Ram in the sky, looking for some shots.
Just
Mr. White, 1, 2, and that's all he's going to get.
That's all they need.
Reached out.
It's a 5-on-3.
Yeah, well, here comes Nexamiss. Gold Fury breaks the cage right away. Nice play there from AA. Nexamiss still aggressing on the back line. Hamster looking up top for Boronic. Boronic invisible, going to turn around. Now looking for the fight is Astral Authority. Here's the big suck. The vacuum going well. Hamster going to be in trouble. Half HP. There's help from the support. And Wolves caps another one. Nexamiss in trouble as well. He's going to jump to the left-hand side. But so will Layers. So will Gryphon. And Nexamiss on the run.
DoctorL
Gonna be safe for now.
With the wind siphon, a little bit of poke damage onto Layers, but no follow-up. Typhoon still conservatively held onto. No health for Layers, so he's gonna have to back on now. But at the end of the day, Astral Authority with a clean pick onto Hamster and even onto Aquatic to still get a little bit of a lead.
Elevate with a good play right there. Seems like they got beat up, but they got beat up in the right way. You know what I mean? Anybody that's ever wrestled or taken a martial art knows what I mean. They got beat up in the right way, meaning, yeah, they lost the team fight. There's no debate about it. But Astral couldn't go for the gold here at that moment in time because of the way Elevate sort of spread out, did some damage, staggered their deaths, so that Astral really didn't have that opportunity available to them.
It's about holding hands in the jungle, and Aquatic needed a buddy system with him. He was just caught alone. It allowed a nice opportunity for Astral to keep on applying a little bit of pressure. Hamster going to de-ward around this goal. Fury still very even game, though, despite a 3-kill advantage for AA.
Yep, 3,000 gold lead for Astral here at the 20-minute mark. Something to talk about, but not necessarily hang your hat on. It gives Astral Authority a very slight lead when it comes to looking at these Gold Furies, but keep in mind the majority of it is Wolves.
Yep.
So when they are without Wolves, like right now, it's kind of an even game. But once Wolves joins the party, that's when everything goes awry.
That's right, because he's going to be the life of the party. Hey.
The more finger guns you do at me. Not going to make it work. Solo laner working out right now. Wolves, again, just decides to put DoctorL down for the count.
oBoronic, though, transforming yet again to the Hunt Bats, just forcing 3 members away. While there's more kill opportunities, Nexamiss is going to receive a little bit of poke, but nothing to continue quite yet. A lot of cooldowns expended. It's only Gryphon and Inbound from Astral with ultimates.
One of the first times I'm going to complain about oBoronic right there at his transformation. Didn't like that. He zoned 3 players away from an Odin.
Well,
not my favorite move.
If they kill the Odin, that's good because it opens the goal Fury, but they can't lock him down. Wolves in a little bit of trouble, but so is Nexamiss.
He wasn't killing the Odin that time. This time, mayhaps. And Gryphon slays, puts down Nexamiss. Now you've got a 5-on-4.
Mr. White lands in the middle of all the action. Second victim out of Elevate. Can it be a third? Layers trying to make it happen.
Oh, the missed apple! The missed apple! Oh, the missed apple!
He's not hungry for it, Tom.
Gold Fury is going to be the meal of choice here for Astral Authority. 22 minutes in, they certainly are the authoritative figures. 5,000 gold above Elevate. Now ready to really put the screws on him. Elevate stuck here in a vice, and Astral Authority, oBoronic specifically.
Yep.
The one with the keys.
oBoronic has been doing a good job. Actually, like everyone from Astral Authority is doing a good job. Elevate has been able to respond with a few dual lane ganks. That's why we're seeing 3 deaths for both Inbound and Gryphon. Can't really survive some of the pressure. But I think at the end of the day, it's all been oBoronic and Layers hand in hand, using those Fear No Evils, constantly disrupting Elevate. DoctorL's been using his beads like every single rotation. Every single time it's up, not even 10 seconds go by probably until he needs to use it.
Yeah, I'm looking at oBoronic and Wolves specifically. My man More Wolves over here has just been able to do what he is expected to do. And I kind of think that we sometimes don't realize it's still very special what Wolves does. Like, it's still out of control right now, zoning away the Odin from the Fire Giant.
I don't know about that ultimate from Nexamiss. The call from Elevate is to not go anywhere near that action. I like the switch up between Fire Giant and Pyromancer. It was Mr. White that was all the way under his own tier 2 duo tower, so that gave Astral Authority like a little bit of a window to fight 5-on-4 and bait something out.
Yeah, I like the choice there to switch objectives as well. Astral Authority now. Wolves. And again, like, this is... Wolves is having a standard exemplary performance. Which is, you know, I don't want to undersell him, even though we're used to seeing it at this point. IAmTheHamster gets from control to control to control. And Wolves will take the kill, the kill, the kill. Nemesis here, Nexamiss jumping. He's surrounded by Astral Authority members, trying to find an exit on the right-hand side. DoctorL being ignored there on the left. oBoronic running away from that one. Elevate in a bad spot.
It was oBoronic that actually kept DoctorL in check on the left-hand side. Now trying to keep Inbound in check using the cage. A nice little double taunt. A jump up and down from Nexamiss gets rooted into play. Slow, knocked up. Gryphon with the kill.
And 2 players sitting down now for Elevate. Should open the door wide open for the Fire Giant. Elevate not willing to give this one up just yet. Bobby dashing out, even though he's only got a hair of HP. 25% on the support player. The Ape in the cloud right now. Gonna miss the Strife. And he's gonna miss his life. 3 kills without a death for LOD. The Fire Giant one more time being targeted. 3 versus 5. As Nexamiss and Aquatic are up down for 20+ seconds.
These fates have been so fruitful for Astral, just constantly leashing the Fire Giant. No care in the world. They will finally confirm it after what felt like about 1 to 2 minutes worth of action. And now it's Elevate that needs to play more defense, similar to game number 1.
I mean, that was, you know, that was Astral Authority had no problem with that. That was, they were farming the map. Now, instead of camps, they were killing players.
Sure.
But they were just farming the map.
They were having a grand old time, sipping their tea.
Yeah. That becomes a frustrating moment when you're doing nothing. When you're just sitting there 5-on-5 looking at each other, get a pick, look at each other, and you're not ready to jump in. That for Astral, they're like, dog, y'all want to keep coming in 1-on-1 or 1 versus 5? We're okay with that because you're still moving forward as a team. You're not losing time. You're not wasting moments where, for a team that's down, and the reason I bring that up is very relevant in Season 5, look at the items down below. Elevate right now for the past 4 minutes or so have been in stall mode. They don't want anything to happen. They just want to stop the game. And so Astral in that spot was good for Elevate.
That's right. It's about 5.5 items for Astral across the board against only 4.5 for Elevate. So playing defense now even harder to do. Tier 2 tower will fall ultimately, and this is getting so scary because Astral Authority have so much burst damage with their items, even Polynomicon, Soul Reaver for oBoronic, Deathbringer out of Layers. You got a lot of utility for Wolves with a Gem of Isolation, Rod of Asclepius just boosting up some of those healing numbers alongside the Fire Giant buff for the next 2.5 minutes. I don't see a real chance for Elevate to hold these towers at least.
The towers probably not. The Phoenixes maybe a little bit more so. As Bobby teleports to the right-hand side. Nexamiss has a decent ultimate for defending Phoenixes. You can just lock players out for a certain amount of time. The Apple prevents players from being grouped up for a large period of time. And, of course, Earth and Fury is Earth and Fury. There's not much more to talk about with that. So there are a number of defensive options for Elevate to go to. Right now, down 13,000. Not all 13,000 of that is relevant, as we are close to the ending of our itemization for a lot of these characters on Elevate. Totally, if Elevate play good defense for less than 10 minutes, it's a tie game.
I'd say so, but that's shooting for the moon and the stars, honestly, because
fly me to the moon.
All the gold's about to be spent after the tier 2 town on the left-hand side and this Gold Fury. 6 items now complete for Wolves as he picks up the Ethereal Staff. I'm sure Layers is sitting pretty with another bunch of gold as he's going to try to finish off what I think is going to be the Crusher. Rod of Tahuti completed for oBoronic. Relic Dagger.
Woo!
Inbound is just all over the place.
oBoronic. Oh, he's going to sell the rod. Nope. Still routed that booty. Picking it up. There it is. The Morrigan ready to go. She going to delete somebody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She going to straight up delete somebody. I'm going to have to go to my Hawk and be like, he gone.
Especially with Inbound's taunts into the Sunder. Upgraded Sunder.
Oh, no wonder. They bought a Sunder.
That's right.
That ain't no blunder.
Definitely not a blunder, Tom.
They got that Sunder. Sunder on the Athena. Very, very strong. 20% extra damage taken. Nigh unmissable with the taunt involved as well.
Especially on the character against Nexamiss that doesn't have any sort of CC immunity. Once he jumps, you instantly want to taunt him, apply the Sunder, and blow up this Odin player.
It's also it's not a protection shred. It's just straight up, you take more damage. Elevate starting the fight here. Inbound and Wolves going to be hit up by the Apple there. They don't really care.
If there's ever one other player that you want to apply that apple to, it better be on Wolves. He has enough protections and health to be able to just eat that.
Yeah, just eat that apple. No problem so far.
Keep the doctor away.
18 to 9.
Get it? Because DoctorL's on the team.
That was you need to work on what we call delivery. But there was something there, Tolly. You did have something there.
I'm working on it.
I will give it to you.
I'm working on it.
Lab it and come back to me a little bit later.
I got to do some like underground comedy clubs, see how it hits there, and then I can take it on the road.
I got a good one. You want to hear a good joke?
No.
Knock, knock.
I'm not doing this, Tom.
No. Knock, knock.
I'm not doing this, Tom. All right, who's there?
Euripides. He's like a famous god or philosopher.
Okay. Euripides who?
Euripides? Euphixades. It's like he ripped his pants. Euripides. Should we put famous philosophers in Smite, you think? No?
I don't think the spectator agrees. I don't know if he was saying no to your question or no to your joke.
The spectator was saying yes to my joke.
No, he was nodding side to side. I'm pretty sure Doug does not agree with you right now.
You don't think we should see like a Thomas Hobbes or a Sigmund Freud?
Different era.
Yes. Well, believe it or not, I think that Baron Samedi and Hun Batz are different eras.
True.
The Morrigan as well. Celtic. And,
those people you mentioned aren't mythological.
I don't know about that. You really think Plato existed?
Yes.
I don't know about that. I think he's like the dinosaurs.
Wait, what?
I think he's like
You think these philosophers are comparable to dinosaurs?
Yeah. Sir Isaac Newton was a raptor.
Excuse me?
Tolly's brain is just blowing up right now. Astral Authority. They've got all the gas that I'm using to gaslight Tolly right now.
Sure, he felt like a raptor at times.
31 minutes on the clock, and AA getting ready for another push here on the left side. They have the Fire Giant for a ridiculous amount of time. They're certainly ready to go here. The 4-1 split is Inbound shifting over to the mid lane.
With a blink onto Layers, he can easily transfer over from middle to the left. Beads not necessary because the Mad Guy's Cloak absorbing the taunt, and that was the name of the game for Inbound.
Remember when I told that joke, Tolly?
It was
Astral Authority. No joke about this push. Wolves trying to bait Elevate into making the first move. Astral Authority is a fantastic composition for counter initiation. You jump on us, fear no evil. You beads, I'm a wait, and then fear no evil. But Bobby ran out of patience. Inbound goes in with the dash taunt. Two players being feared on the back line. On the front line, it's all about the ring from Nexamiss. There's the second fear no evil as oBoronic goes into the monkey one more time. Layers in trouble, and Elevate with a great defensive set, gonna take down the jungler.
Layers just zoning a little bit too long in that encounter. No one falls for Elevate, and that's going to hold on to their Phoenixes even further, despite having this enhanced Fire Giant for Astral Authority. 6 items deep for everyone. They couldn't seal the deal. They got a little too frisky. I think the Phantom from Wolves was too conservative. Should have been used right away to force the reset, but I think the issue was Layers was just overcommitted at that point.
Yeah, right there was Astral Authority, as I said. Astral really wants Elevate to engage on them because, as I said, they have a wonderful counter initiation comp, and the AA just ran out of patience, went for the dash taunt, and they got punished for it. Nexamiss is going to drop a ring to separate the team fight into 2 separate areas. DoctorL is going to pull you where you don't want to be. Aquatic's going to make sure you stay there, and Hamster's just boosted everything while Oscar's in the back line just being robbed.
Now, it was a good taunt originally from Inbound, catching both Nexamiss and Hamster, but unfortunately, I think Inbound missed the reach on Nexamiss, so didn't apply the damage to give him combat status, and that still allowed Nexamiss to be able to blink past the Athena because he didn't hit her. He was a little bit out of range of that taunt, and that ring just really locked down Astral from assisting Layers in that backline.
Yeah, I think, so like I said, I think that Astral Authority need to be more patient there. But then again, if I'm Elevate, I'm just going to wait till the Fire Giant falls off. So Astral Authority have to make a move. Totally, clearly that was the wrong move. So how do you go about knowing that you are the team that needs to be engaged on? How do you force the team to engage on?
Just keep doing the 4-1 split the way you were doing in game 1. It was successful then, and it was pretty successful here when the Athena from Inbound was able to pop the Mad Guy's cloak for DoctorL. I'm surprised we didn't see Layers actually just dive middle Phoenix in a 1v1, trying to force out the beads and run away, and then use that cooldown reduction to be able to go for round 2 in the left side Phoenix.
I actually really want to see, I want to see the 3-1 split. I want to see Wolves go with Boronic to the mid lane. And I want to see the other 3 players sit there on the left side. Wolves and Boronic can and will just kill. They can win the 2v2. With virtually any 2 that come over to that middle lane Phoenix. With the control that Wolves has and the burst that Boronic has before he even transforms, right? So this is the point of the game where I think you do a 3-2 split. You shove the burst damage and the control in the mid lane, the other 3 on the left side, and you just find the pick, force to kill, force the fight. I think that's the way that Astral have to break the space.
Oh, it's possible with Fire Giant coming back up for the 3rd time due to respawn in 5 seconds. Wolves sees the meteor in the sky. Boom. Like my sound effects?
Yeah,
that was an epic crash landing.
That was interesting.
Boom.
So I'm God Name Guy and you're sound effect guy. So can you do the sound effects for Wolves' ultimate? What is the Baron Samedi ultimate sound like?
I'm not entertaining this.
Oh, so you're only willing to go halfway, huh?
Only halfway. Only halfway, but Astral Authority trying to go the distance and secure game number 2. Still needs to go for some more of these Phoenixes, but if they don't get this going, like you mentioned, Elevate, they just needed about 10 minutes of defense, and I think they successfully did so. The only 2 members that I'm seeing is Nexamiss and AquaticApe in order to complete their full item build, and Elevate still have a little bit of a shot despite being down over 20,000 gold.
Well, yeah, this is the part where I was talking about. I said at 25 minutes, if Elevate could hold on for 10 more,
wow,
then it's a tie game, and none of these numbers just don't matter. Like the experience difference, the gold difference.
True. Experience doesn't matter. Gold might matter in the terms of getting 3K potions. With some of the changes now giving more damage to Phoenixes, receiving less damage to Phoenixes between those potions, and persisting through death, giving you a second opportunity, that could still allow Astral Authority to be reckless. Now, there's 2 options here. Number 1 is doing the split the same way that they tried to do but didn't really fully commit to, or number 2 is all-in commit onto one side, but like really dive the Phoenix, because they were like half in, half out.
Right, yeah. But a large part of the reason they were half in and half out was Nexamiss did a great job.
So that means Inbound needs to make sure that after he hits the taunt, that he hits Nexamiss with the reach passive to not allow that blink to follow suit.
Right now, Hamster's got a bubble around him, so he needs to strip that.
1-1-3 split this time around. Astral Authority trying to spread, elevate every which way, use some of that Athena ultimate presence.
And that I like that as well, right? I really wanted something specific with the 2-1. The other option here is 3-1-1 with Athena on the far side, making use of the ultimate. Elevate going to go in. This is kind of what Astral want, but they want more survivability. Wolves is dead, and Athena gets here a little bit too late. Elevate were too fast for Astral this time around. And so, well, that'd be that. Another great defensive move from Element.
Astral were too impatient on the left-hand side. They needed to allow just the Athena split push on the right. The Phoenix took half of its health. I think, honestly, if I'm Inbound, I let that team fight fall and just go for the right side Phoenix.
No
not even
way.
use the Defender of Olympus. There was no one on the right side. As you're walking into the solo lane side Phoenix, you have plenty of vision in the Titan room and then off of your Eagle Eye vision to see who's actually committed on the left-hand side. And
but you're in Athena, even with Emperor's Armor.
With Fire Giant, that extra damage is still going to be enough. You can even tank it for a little bit longer knowing that you have the Emperor's Armor, because even if all the minions die, if you enter the Phoenix with your minions, the backdoor protection will still be eliminated if all the minions are gone.
As long as you don't leave that circle, the backdoor protections are still gone.
I think the Phoenix dies.
Well, you know, that's see, I was gonna go. It's funny are two minds. I was gonna go the complete other direction.
Do it earlier.
I was on the side of Athena is split pushing, but in air quotes, right? I'm here on the other side if you want to defend against me, but the whole time I have my camera angled, ready to ult, right? And Astral Authority, because the entire reason why I said spread the floor, I assume the reason why Astral chose to spread the floor was to get Elevate to initiate. And they did that. But the problem was, you know what? Astral said, I'm better at hitting you back. Hit me.
That's true.
Hit me. Hit me. Hit me. And then Elevate finally hit them in the face, and Astral wasn't ready for it.
That's true. They were just a little bit too close on the left side. If they, you know, how you have to tip the scales and balance. The Athena needed to be more far forward in the Phoenix, which she was, but I don't think Astral can match that on the left side. They just need to not fight, not engage, especially when you're spreading 1-1-3 between the right, middle, and left side.
Yeah, you just gotta be ready to. Yep. Like I said, you're making that split push in air quotes. You are ready to go. Astral Authority was not ready, and that's why they were unable to break the bank that time around. 18-11, 40.5 minutes in. We got essentially a tie game here. Astral Authority have the upper hand. They are on the offensive. Elevate's Phoenixes have been untouched, rather healthy, but the Fire Giant and the map control certainly belong to Astral Authority. They've been the ones with the Fire Giant the last 3 times, but the last 2 attempts on the base with that Fire Giant have been as unsuccessful as you get. Just zero win there.
And it's only going to get worse, knowing that Nexamiss has 1 stack on his Hide of Urchin.
Yep.
And they still can't find a way to blow him up, considering all the damage that they have between the upgraded Sunder, between the full builds, even having 3K potions on some of these members. This is the 4th attempt for Astral Authority to close out this set.
Forgive me, did the Odin always have the speed boots? Did you notice that?
No, he didn't always have it. He just now wanted to switch it up.
And okay, good, because I really wanted to address this. I love this choice. Because he's identified that Astral are spreading the map to keep everybody sectioned away from each other. And so Nexamiss realizes it's much more important for him to travel from Phoenix to Phoenix to Phoenix than it is for him to do a little bit extra damage.
It's true.
You're getting, 10 power on the speed boots? And
it's not much, but it's still enough to be able to make a bird bomb hit a little bit harder.
20 power on speed boots, 40 power on power boots, right?
And when you're defending some of these Phoenixes, it's not that much distance you have to cover. So that's 7 seconds. You're going to probably get an additional 3 seconds or so after you blink in to defend any of these Phoenixes.
Yeah,
Look to the right.
I like that choice from Nexamiss.
There you go.
There's the one-on-one.
Stay there.
Inbound. Well, DoctorL's here as well. This time he's going to go early.
Ulti.
Yeah. Nice.
Force the fight.
There it is. Now, as soon as Elevate have spread themselves out, Inbound goes to the back line. Nexamiss drops the ring, and Astral Authority are going to be aggressive. AquaticApe in trouble on the back line. Oboronic goes into the Odin, trying to separate everybody else, and Nexamiss taking a ton of damage. Layers of Death going to do it. That's kill number 19.
Oboronic in trouble. He's going to ultimately fall, but finally the left side Phoenix crumbles. The Strife a little off the mark. Layers going to go into the back line.
Big taunt there. IAmTheHamster still in trouble. He's going to be aggressive, though. Wolves, Gryphon, Layers, very healthy. Everybody healthy. Oboronic is dead. It's a 4-on-4. But Astral still want to push forward. Now look at the ultimates as well. They're going to be coming back up as the mid lane Phoenix falls down.
Good opportunity
Another
for a
big taunt.
Inbound, setting up the plays. Layers gets one, as does Gryphon. It's only AquaticApe and Hamster trying to hold on to their Titan.
Just going for it. The apple is going to fly on by. Hamster with a nice stun. Thank you, Mantle of Discord. Hamster going to be able to wiggle away until the ultimate comes through, and Wolves with the play.
He's able to get it. The Titan goes down. Astral Authority clean it out. 2-0 after 43 minutes worth of play.
I want to see every Titan Siege like that. A lot of times the Titan Siege is one of the less impactful parts of the game because everybody's at base and it's sort of like, just going through the motions. This was an all-out fight, and totally, if Astral lose that fight, they likely lose the game.
Very possibly. They took a long time to do it. They had a big lead though to play with in order to be. It's like when you're gambling, you know, you can lose like a bunch of money, but then because you have so much more roll to play with, and that's exactly what Astral were doing.
I thought Hindu was the gambler.
That's where I know this from. He tells me how he plays. He's like, he just loses thousands of dollars on purpose because he knows he's going to get it back.
Hindu wins all the time. I don't know about you. I don't know what story you're talking about, but Hindu was the winner. Who's going to be the MVP of this game is the question. Fantastic performance by Astral here. Honestly, like I said, I might have to give it to oBoronic. His Morgan play was fantastic. The ability to choose specifically per team fight what he wanted to go into was really, really exciting for me. He looked like a very strong Morgan player.
I still got to give it to Wolves this game. The solo kill onto Nexamiss earlier, being able to clean up DoctorL that tried to hold on to the wave, finds the tier 1 tower immediately after, rolls that lead into the mid game the same way he did in game number 1. It's got to be Wolves.
Wolves, like I said, I want to make sure that our console fans don't get jaded here. Wolves does this all the time. I kind of want to see him do it all the time. Finch and I have started a talk show on the weekends where we go through, just Smite talk nonsense like I always do. But we ended week number 1 with the player draft. I took Wolves as my solo later, straight up. I was like, he is,
not bad.
He really has that power. He really has that play. MVP on the way. Who do you think it was, Toby?
It's got to be Wolves.
You think it's got to be Wolves?
It's got to be Wolves. Absolutely got to be Wolves. Hey.
It's Wolves!
Hey, Mortality Wolves.
Out of control here from the Baron. Just Wolves doing Wolves things. I feel like, how long has the Xbox League been around?
Since, like, right before Season 2 Worlds?
I've been saying Wolves doing Wolves things for that long. He just shows up and does what he wants to, and then even here, that ultimate, the big part of what allows his team to finally break through the base and take care of the Titan. Wolves, most valuable player, can't fight it.
Switching it up as well, going from Warriors and Guardians to more of a mage style now. Not surprised to see Wolves adapt very successfully, especially knowing how successful his team is on the opposite side of the lane. He's still able to dominate.
Let's take a look at all the games that are going on these days. Astral Authority taking the win over Elevate earlier. Retribution, the European team, gets taken care of by Team Rival. I don't think that's much of a surprise. Cyclone wins against Noxious, and Armada loses against Flashpoint offline. So an exciting week number 2 here for the Xbox League. Always interesting to see where Armada and Astral are going to wind up. Means the Astral still undefeated.
Same as with the Team Rival, your North American and European teams that won the summer and the spring respectively, just dominating their respective regions.
Now, of course, these teams all fighting for the big bucks. They're trying to get their way over to HRX. They've got to play for a couple more weeks. They've got to win. They've got to do all this stuff. All you guys got to do is go to hi-rezexpo.com, pick up your tickets November 16th through the 18th.
Not just console, you get to see a Smite World Championship, some Paladins action, so mark the date on your calendar, pack a light sweater, and you're good to go.
Yeah, we're going to have the best show there, of course, no questions asked, but DreamHack is a big, big event. If you've been to HRX before and you know just how cool it is, it's going to be all of that plus some of our esports teammates along the way. Other games are going to be there. Big places where you can play yourself. It's a really fun time. So you want to make sure you're able to get that. Definitely show up 16th through the 18th, hi-rezexpo.com. That's going to put a dot on our Xbox games for this week. Coming up next, PlayStation League. It's on the way. We'll be right back with more console action.